Yo ho ho and a bottle of scotch.
Yes. Welcome to the Pirates of Drinax. We'll be picking up where we left off last week. These guys are in a ancient Sindalian vault on Paul in what is left of the town of Gormont, and they have quite a bit of stuff to think about. I mean, there's questions. So the first thing I mean, as far as the questions go, Paul has a no-fly zone. You have to go to the starport, and yet the remnants of Gormont are telling them that a ship landed, and the description of the ship sounds an awful lot like it's probably a subsidized merchant. They said that it flew overhead, landed in the near the Ihati fort, and they could hear gunfire, and so there's that question. How was this ship allowed to fly over Paul, and none of the other ones are, because they were threatened. They were told, if you fly over the land, unless you are heading for the starport, there's a likely chance you'll be shot down. Another question that they have is what to do with all this stuff. So in the vault, they discovered that there were not as much treasure and riches as one might hope. There was enough silver and gold bullion to make about 6 million credits, or 6 mega credits worth of cash. But the rest of it is all steel, crystal iron, copper, and chemicals. It's basically to restart a manufacturing or industrial base. And so the question is, what do they want to do with this stuff? And then, of course, their final question that they have amongst themselves is, Prince Herrick right now is on Thieve. He is planning his triumphant return to take over Drinax, because it is currently under the power or control of Lady Hill, who has proclaimed herself Empress of Sindal. And so there's a lot of questions about that. Are they going to continue to help Prince Herrick? Um, you know, and of course, aside from that, they getting out here to Gormont, they had made a deal with a anti-Aslan movement called the Grihai movement. That they're not, well, most of them aren't racist. They are, they want to protect their land, and they don't want, Ihati bands coming in and taking over the land, and so they are trying to come up with solutions to prevent that. They're not really anti-Aslan in the form of they want all Aslan off the planet. They just want to protect what they already have. So, and part of that deal that they made was that they would supply them with. They asked for metal stamping equipment that would be obviously used to make guns. When they brought that up, the Grihai movement did not say no. They said they readily admitted that that's what it was for. And so now that they have this stuff, they have an opportunity. They can set the remnants up as the supply chain for the Grihai movement. So there's a whole lot of decisions to be made here. And before we get started, we would like to thank one of the friends of the Greenwater Guildhall. None of these are sponsorships or partnerships of any kind. They're products that we just really like. And tonight we would like to thank Boston Scally Company. Boston Scally makes wonderful hats, Scally caps. They've got numerous different styles, a ton of different fabrics and patterns. Anything from, a single panel to 5 panel to 8 panel to 8 panel peakies. They've got a ton of hats, all within a fairly affordable price range. And I believe they're having their beginning of fall sale is starting, so you should definitely check them out. They've got a number of new styles, and old styles that are coming back in, such as the herringbone peakies and scally caps. So definitely check them out. Just go to bostonscally.com and browse through their assortment of hats. If you're a fan of the channel and you like seeing our shows, if you want to help us out, we have a merch store via Zazzle. We have a beer stein. We have a fleece blanket that comes in 3 different sizes. We have buttons, and we have T-shirts. In fact, one of those buttons and T-shirts has the Pirates of Drinax flag, pirate flag made by the wonderful Cameron. Captain Beth is on the T-shirt or on the button. So yeah, if you want to help us out, 100% of the proceeds from that store go directly back into the channel, and we appreciate anything that you decide to purchase. Working steadily this week on the next installment of the Braunhaven campaign, the Tantalizing Tower of Tassadantalus, and man, that is going to be a huge book. I'm thinking that I don't know. I'm thinking that it might end up being a hardcover because it is not just an adventure. It is turning into kind of a cross between an adventure or a mix, like a source book with an adventure. So yeah. I am still in the early stages, but right now I am in the process of detailing out the Imperial Port itself, and so we'll see how far how long that's going to take me. It's been a tedious process because I have an image in my head, but getting it down on paper has been it's been work. I mean,
You take a lot of time to write that because we are going to tear it down.
Yes, you'll tear it down or take it over, one of the two. So
both,
yeah.
Yes.
So yeah, that is on the horizon. So I don't know. I might actually take 2 weeks for the next 2 weeks working on that one before I go back to working on the Treatise of Magic and Spells. So yeah, I'm really hammering away on that next campaign. All right, so hold on just a moment. While I am gone, you guys discuss what are your plans? What do you want to do? So you're still in the vault. We're picking up directly where we left off, and I believe you guys are discussing whether or not you wanted to stay with Drinax or I don't know. You discuss what you want to do. I'll be right back.
I think our immediate concern right now is just the immediate what the fuck, right?
Yeah.
How can we get the things that we want to keep onto the ship and getting the ship out? I've got a feeling though that these anti-Aslan motherfuckers can get us a free pass to fly. They might have had something to do with the assault on the other thing. I don't really give a fuck if they were doing chemical warfare, or I really don't. The trail we live behind is behind us, and we shouldn't worry about that.
So one thing that I will say is that there is some minor medical facility, and when I say minor medical facilities, there is everything that Beth would need to kind of do a makeshift lab is available here if she wanted to try and do some testing on the samples that she took.
Well, I should definitely do that. It'll give us a little bit of answers.
Sure.
I think if nothing else, the militia group may know how that one ship landed. That might be helpful information.
Yeah. We could also, just fly the fucking Harrier here and take our chances, just, catch us if you can, motherfucker. I mean, we fly out and we just kind of fade off into the nothing, and then we turn around and we try to, stealth our way back here.
I don't know what we're up against. I don't remember.
A lot of missiles.
Yeah,
a lot of missiles.
Well,
like
they do have nuclear missile capability, so I mean, I don't know. I mean, that could be technically one of those fuck around and find out kinds of situations because, and the problem with that is that finding out could mean the loss of a Harrier and everybody aboard because, nukes.
We need to find out how that ship got clearance, and then probably we can finagle our way into a similar situation. That's my opinion.
Can we get radio contact with these people that sold us guns?
Probably not.
Let's go
Yeah,
there.
you guys are kind of out in the weeds, and all you've got are your mobile comms, and I doubt that you would even get reception this far out.
And then what about the locals? I guess this immediate thing is how much do we want to let them come in here? How many of them are left?
So there's probably, there was around about 300 of them. There's probably a good 240 left.
Oh, wow.
Are they aware of the militia people or not really?
Not really. They are aware of the starport, of course, and what was that other town's name? The other town. It is. There it is. They know about Parflex Junction and Paul Downport and all of that, and they're not stupid. They know about starships. They know about technology. They just have chosen to stay out here in Gourmont. So,
how do they feel about becoming weapons dealers?
Yeah, I want to propose some kind of alliance situation between the two. They could have mutual benefit.
Well, and they don't have a problem with that because the reality is, Etienne will tell you that they would welcome that because it wouldn't just, if you were to do that, it wouldn't just be the Greenheim movement that would be benefiting from it. You would be essentially giving Gourmont the ability to really become self-sufficient, and actually they would have an industrial base. So they wouldn't have to scavenge and trade anymore. They could make their own stuff, and essentially you could see with just this vault, you could see that in the future, Gourmont could again become its own city. That's essentially what this vault is for.
I'm all, yeah. What does this lady think about, taking over this and doing this, but also realizing that she works for us now, and
Well, yeah.
You want to make money?
Well,
no, I want to be able to come back here at any given time,
yes,
and not have to play a power struggle to do whatever the fuck I want to do. And so, if we have rank here, whenever for whatever reason we decide to come back, which I understand the chances are slim, but I would like to draw up an arrangement agreement,
well, essentially, Gourmont would be and you probably remember this way back. Beth and Keith essentially set up a similar deal with unknown remnant tribes on Marduk, and so they will hide them. It is basically an unofficial haven. Gourmont would essentially become the same thing. Now, the only odd part about it is with Gourmont is the no-fly zone thing. So you may not be able to. Unless you come up with some kind of solution to the no-fly zone, you wouldn't be able to fly in and land anytime you want. But
can we use a helicopter?
Maybe, yeah. There's
if
no
Gourmont
reason
begins to get repowered in a force, they will have a seat at the table to create some of their own laws or exceptions to laws.
Oh, definitely. But you have to keep in mind that is a really long game. That's something that will be way off in the future.
I'm fine with that. Maybe if we could get a pass for the helicopter, we could shuttle our shit back to our ship, establish the people here, set them up with the other traders, saying, "Man, your guns are going to be made. You go buy them from these folks here," and then we sell off with our 6 mega credits worth of shit in our cargo hold, and the satisfaction knowing a job well done. And when we get to that point, we figure out how we want to deal with Prince and all that.
So yeah, I mean, so technically speaking, and it's so Etienne has no problem with that plan. She loves that plan, and her and her people, the remnants, are excited to start getting set up, and they will be the first to tell you that the vault and the town of Gormont is always open to you. So it is a small haven for you. Now, the one thing to keep in mind too is that you're going to have to send a truck hauling hydrogen, because the fusion reactor here needs to be refueled. Aside from that,
could they plug in their solar power to supplement till we get fuel in?
they could, but you're talking about a drop in the bucket.
Yeah, we need to. We need to go back to the starport.
I'm hoping they got hot water so some of them could take a shower because they stink.
Or at least, yeah, or at least some of us could get back to the starport. Maybe we could bribe the government to let us just fly the. I forgot what ship.
Right, and getting back to the starport will, of course, be the next part of this, and so the next question to be answered really is how you want to move forward. So Prince Herrick is a prince in exile, or actually he is a king in exile, or acting king, something like that. Anyways, he's a prince in exile, and you guys have been out in the weeds. You don't know exactly what the situation is, how far he's made it. You know, you haven't been in contact for over a week. Over a week, and it's probably been almost 10 days by now. So you're not sure exactly what's going on. So the deal that you have would have held over, and that 6 mega credits of silver and gold bullion is technically his. It's not booty that you would give him 10% of. So the question is, if you want to remain with him, of course, how much are you wanting to skim off the top? Would be the first question.
Yeah, I was thinking we'd figure that shit out when we actually got it on a ship.
Yeah, that's a little bit for later. Can I do some tests on stuff?
Yes. Go ahead and make a blah 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 blah. Hold on. Where is
I reach into my pocket, break open the coach gun, and reload 2 shells.
That's a good idea. Yes. Hold on here.
And then I look around at number 1 to see if I can close that door.
No, those are open.
And everything's powered down.
The only ones that actually technically have a door is 2 and 5, and of course 3, 4, and 6.
I was gonna say.
Dun, dun, dun.
But this area is really defensible now. I mean,
it is.
If you're getting attacked, you have to come in through the vault door, and so if they've got guns, and I would think they could rally a really nice defense here to hold this while the Aslan die. I mean, they're polluted.
There's a blind quarter too.
Yeah.
So, Captain Beth can make a physical sciences plus intellect or education check.
I got 11.
Nice. Okay, so yeah, you do find out some stuff about this, and then the question, of course, is how long is this going to take you?
15 years.
So you spend about 8 hours researching this, and oh wait, no, 16 hours. She is sitting there looking into a microscope and using a portable computer and kind of detailing all of this, and you find a couple of troubling pieces of information. The first piece of information that you find is that this chemical makeup oddly resembles the biochemical makeup of other Sindalian weapons that you have seen. So this is not that this is old, but somebody has copied some of the Sindalian bioweapons, and it is a very, very similar makeup. I mean, at least on a very basic level, to, for instance, what you found on the treasure of Sindal on the space station.
That has been destroyed, right?
You blew it up, yes.
Yeah, that's what I think. So, I mean...
But you have to figure, too, I mean, this vault exists. And the Sindalian Empire, the emperors were known for having caches stashed all over the Reach. So it is very likely that somebody found another cache. And you know that the emperors, they valued their weapons more than gold or platinum. And so if somebody else did find a cache, it was very likely going to be exactly that. The other thing that you find is that this particular bioweapon has been tinkered with. It has been modified in such a way that it is very specific to Aslan genetic makeup.
Okay. So our friends are suspect, probably.
I think so. Somehow they rented a subsidized trader and found this stuff.
They need to get their money back because this made the Aslan way more dangerous. That was not a good move, you guys. Let's give them all rabies. Yeah. Good call.
But I mean, in theory, they're dying out too. So.
Yeah, that's true.
Well,
maybe.
I mean, it really depends. It really depends on what the goal was, because you guys have fairly intimate contact or intimate knowledge of the Aslan, and you know that Aslan from the Herate are actually very noble. They're noble people. You know, they do not run around eating humans. They don't. In fact, the Herate even has banned slavery. You guys helped an Aslan nobleman repatriate slaves that were left over on worlds that they had liberated from the Glorious Empire, because there were too many people, and so rather than, I mean, literally these worlds were so overpopulated that the Aslan, when they had liberated those worlds from the Glorious Empire, literally got to thinking, well, you know, I guess extermination is one option. And those people previously were slaves.
Could it be the Glorious Empire that did this somehow?
Or that pirate
it could be. I mean,
we tried to kill.
There are a whole bunch of possibilities, but like I said, it really depends on what the goal was, as to whether whoever did this wanted their money back. If they wanted to make the Aslan look like a bigger threat to everybody else, it would have succeeded. If they wanted to basically deface the Aslan and destroy their nobility and their heritage, they would have succeeded.
Okay, that's a good point.
And
Yeah.
it did have a lethal effect on some of them.
That's true.
Mostly the young.
Mm.
The kittens.
During all that time, is there any way I can repair and take over and seize control of this robot?
Which? Oh, you mean the Aslan
The
or
one I
the
toasted?
Sindalian security robot? It's
Yeah.
no, it's pretty effed in the A.
I shot it, and put a pistol in the hole and shot it.
Yeah.
Shot a shotgun.
Yeah, so it's in pieces, and it's not like it was in the best of condition to begin with.
All right.
I mean, you could probably salvage some parts from it.
What about the gun?
Oh yeah, it's got a shotgun and a stunner.
I want to try to salvage that and give it to these people to try to defend themselves while we go away.
Well, they have rifles and stuff. I mean, they don't have a lot. There's not enough rifles for everybody, but I would think in this industrial complex and all these crates, there's probably a crate of ACRs. I would be willing to bet there is probably a crate of ACRs and a crate of magazines full of ammunition for them.
I'm gonna go look for it. What do I roll?
Yeah, I'm not gonna make you roll. I mean, yes, there is undoubtedly a crate in here. So I mean, they have stuff. But yeah, if you want to make a there. If you want to make a robotics sciences plus intellect or education check to see how much stuff you salvage.
Robotics plus what?
Either intellect or education.
9.
Yeah, so you are able to, I mean, so with a 9, yeah, you're able to salvage some stuff, but Gregor really did a number on this bot. Oh. And so most of the parts are exploded. They are just shattered beyond all recognition of what they even did to begin with. But yes, you are able to salvage, of course, the shotgun and the stunner. These are specifically designed for the robot, so it's not like it is a semi-auto shotgun. It is, there's no grip on it. It's all mechanized for the robot.
I'm going to give it to Keith and ask him if he can go ahead and jury rig these up in a useful kind of way to our buggies.
Oh, sure. I'm sure we can do that, right?
To the dune buggies? Like, keep in mind, you're renting these.
So it's an improvement.
You guys, we're on a planet with like a gun ban or whatever. We can't do that.
Yeah, remember, this is a law level 9 planet, so.
All right.
Gotta hide our guns.
Yeah.
That would be awesome, though.
How about putting it at the interest of the vault?
Yeah. We'll give it to the vault people then, I guess. Maybe ask Keith with his engineering stuff if he wants to set up a booby trap system or something with them. If they're not really able to go handheld, we'll use them for something.
You could definitely set them up as, like a robotic booby trap in the hallway at the entrance up here.
Yeah.
You could definitely set them up there. Or set up something there. So yeah,
away.
If Keith wants to make a mechanics plus Make a mechanic plus intellect or education check.
Okay. 8.
Okay, so yeah, kind of working off of the idea that Ting's kind of starts. Keith is able to set up this this mechanized friend or foe scanner. It's very simplistic, but it will get the job done.
Are we gonna let these remnants in this thing before we get the gold and silver out?
Yeah,
We
they
have
need to.
to.
Yeah, they need shelter. I mean, this is.
Yeah, their little village has kind of been trashed.
Yeah,
They
with those
seem like
Aslan.
honorable people. I mean, if they force us to, I mean, we'll nuke this place from space just to show fuck you. I mean, it's only 6 million credits. Literally on the way to Thieves, if we just steal one ship, selling that on the black market covers this. I mean,
Okay, Billy
That would be
foreshadowing.
alright.
well, I'm just saying. I mean, you know.
Okay, should we visit our, we return our gun, I guess?
I pick up, let's see. I want to pick up an ACR, but I'm in a low level 9 planet. If I show back up in civilization with an ACR.
Yeah, walking into the port with that is going to be pretty next to impossible.
Don't we have some like outlaw contacts though? I mean, we got guns from them, didn't we?
You did.
That's what I need.
Yeah,
is
we need to return our guns to them, I think.
we need
yeah,
to talk to them and ask if they know how people got around the no-fly zone, and also ask them questions about the disease and see if they have anything to do with it.
Okay,
we
so
could bring them a sample ACR and a clip or two.
yes, you
I
can.
think we should.
Yeah, I definitely want to do that.
Okay.
And we should give 4 or 5 to the remnants.
Oh, they're getting a ton of them, right?
Yeah,
I mean, they're
yeah.
they're
Yeah, they're
mostly
getting the rest
for
of the
home.
crate.
Yeah, that the most of that idea I thought was to make them so they could stand
Yes,
ground.
You know,
yeah.
it's funny because it specifically in here makes comments about that there are crates and barrels, and I don't imagine that a facility like this is going to deal in crates and barrels. I think what they mean when they mean a crate is like a shipping container.
Mhm.
That would make more sense to me. Like there's
Yeah.
a shipping container in here full of, you know, whatever. They're not going to deal in crates. Crates are a little. That's
Yeah,
small
that's a
time.
bit weird.
Yeah, that would be
Very
a lot of
old-timey.
crates. That sounds like more work than it's worth. But so you guys you load up your bullion, and I can only imagine that these dune buggies are sitting low. You know, you've probably
Yeah.
got some bags that are strapped to the roof. You've probably made a
Oh.
leader that's dragging behind it. The front end of the buggies coming up off the ground, because I mean 6 million credits worth of silver and gold. That's quite a bit of bullion. But you guys make your way back to Parflex Junction, and catch and return your dune buggies, and catch a train heading back to Paul Downport. And once you get back to Paul Downport, the Greenhigh movement, they are. I mean, you know where to find these guys. They kind of have like a clubhouse, for lack of a better term, where they have
I
their
thought it
barbecues.
was a party room.
Yeah, essentially. They are in the Startown, just outside the starport, and so they tell you. So how are you approaching them about your questions?
I think we'll mostly just say what happened.
I'm going to stick a coach gun in their face and ask them.
Oh my gosh.
Whoa.
All right, I guess that's happening.
Okay, I won't, Captain.
So you give them their duffel bag of weapons back, or tell them basically where to find them outside, because you're not going to be able to bring them in. And when you tell them
Yeah.
there are, well, all of you can make a recon plus intellect check.
Oh,
6.
14.
I got a 10.
I got 9.
Okay. And what did Beth get?
14.
Oh shit. So
Crazy.
essentially everybody except for Gregor, you guys, and you probably noticed this the first time that you met with the Green
Blah, blah, blah.
there are different
Hey, look,
guess
this
different-
is a good-looking chick.
there's like different levels in the Greenheim movement. At the very your average Joe Blow Greenheim movement member, and probably the ones that are most likely to be met on the street or in a starport bar, are, you know, the yokels. And that you can pretty much tell by how they dress and how they talk. And so the yokels are pretty much what you would expect. They working guys. They're more of the Aslan, I'll get my gun kind of people, right? Then there is the middle level, and those guys are a little bit more educated. They might dress very similar to the yokels, but they're a little bit smarter and realize that, you know, you can't just run around shooting every Aslan that you see. And then there's the higher ups, and the higher ups almost inevitably are well dressed. You know, maybe not always wearing suits, but they probably own a couple. But even when they're slumming it, they're probably in Dockers. So, and they are highly educated, and so you can decide between those three levels of people, which ones are you going to approach with this?
I'm gonna go for the high level.
That's what I'm thinking.
And there's some things I want to try and say to them, like medically, about it too.
Okay.
I guess it's
So I mean, to give a real world example, and I fucking hate to give these guys any kind of press whatsoever, but I mean, if you look at modern day KKK members, your average guy is the redneck on the street. David Duke does not dress like the redneck on the street. David Duke wears Van Heusen dress shirts and slacks, silk slacks, and a nice tie. But he's as big of a piece of shit as all the rest of them. So,
well, yeah, the higher up those are the guys that can make power plays and make things happen. I mean, so those are the people that we need to talk to anyway.
Well, theoretically. So,
well, what I want to try and tell them is that this is targeted towards Aslan, but after you release it, you don't really have control over what happens, and there's nothing really stopping it from, you know, being contracted by humans at some point.
So you tell them about this, and they are absolutely genuinely shocked and have no idea of who could have perpetrated this. And the guy that you're talking to says, wait a minute, wait. Are you suggesting that we had something to do with this? Because there's no way. That's not what the movement is about.
We have no evidence of it, but I thought that we would.
He tells you, he says, so if I'm understanding this correctly, you're saying that there was a ship that actually came in and landed.
That's what we heard.
And
I
And
wondered if they knew.
the description sounds like a subsidized merchant. The
Yes.
description that was given to you.
Yeah.
He says what I would recommend doing, and I can certainly put some feelers out if you would like, but we should check around the starport. Now, starport starport ship database is open to the general public, and it's free access. That would be, of course, the first place that I would recommend looking. Getting any additional information, such as like flight plans or things of that nature, is probably going to be a little bit harder. But the first place, if I were to do a little bit of detective work, would be to ask the dock workers.
Okay, that's a smart idea.
Yeah.
We should do that.
Now, I want to hit him up for the angle of explaining about the samples of the rifles we brought.
Yes.
Yeah, and let him know, hey, one to advocate him to bring the hydrogen out there to my friends at Gormont, as well as some food supplies and medical supplies, and in return, they will begin producing the weapons.
So he is absolutely thrilled about this.
Yeah.
So,
I mean,
for hydrogen fuel is inexpensive in his eyes compared to what they're gaining, and so he has no problem trucking out some hydrogen fuel to Gormont, and knowing that they're going to have a regular supply now of weapons, and Gormont's going to benefit, and of course the Greenhigh movement's going to benefit. Both Beth and Ting, you can make a streetwise plus intellect check.
Six.
Okay.
Not my thing.
Well, this is only going to be a routine check, so.
I got a 10. We're good.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, this is a breakout. It's Miller time. Break out the champagne of beers and pass the bottles around, because the Greenhigh movement now has. You guys have set them up, and some of the stuff that you have learned. So, that you have learned before that the Greenhigh movement, they're basically followers of this guy that is known as Prince Richter, and his full name is Richter Greenhigh, and everybody in the movement talks about how fantastic Prince Richter Greenhigh is. Oh my God, did you know that he can trace his lineage all the way back to the old emperors of Sindal? So
No, I didn't.
That is a bit of a red flag for you guys, because everybody that you have met that makes the claim that they can trace their lineage back to the emperors of Sindal wants to rule the galaxy. That's a problem. They want to take over and rule the Sindalian Empire. So that's a bit of a red flag. I mean, you don't know that that's what this guy wants to do, but you have anecdotal evidence of every other person that has ever said this has a part in that. The other thing that is even more interesting, so through your bullshitting and kind of making deeper connections with them, you'll learn a couple of things. The first thing is that all of these guys seem completely sincere when they say that they're not racist. That's not what the Greenhigh movement's about. I mean, some of the low-level guys are maybe a little racist, but the medium and upper echelons are more. They're strong enough to temper them and kind of their whole goal is more to come up with workable measures to prevent the Aslan from taking over their planets.
Man, if I was just to bet, and I'm not selling this to these heathens, but if I'm willing to bet, their prince or whatever probably did do the attack on the Aslan out there. And he just did it covertly. It just probably isn't common knowledge. It's definitely nothing that they're going to brag about to strangers.
Well, the other the other thing that
Hey,
you learn
he
is
may
that
not even told him.
nobody at this chapter of the Greenhigh movement, and they tell you, and you don't know how much of this to believe. They tell you there are chapters of the Greenhigh movement all up and down the Dust Belt. They're all up and down the Dust Belt and Drinax chain, and most of these people have never been off-world, so you don't know how much of that to believe. The other thing that you learn is that nobody in this chapter has ever met Richter Greenhigh. He's never even been here.
Oh, yeah.
Wow.
Well, now
He's
in
not
this truck,
real.
he might not be, to be honest. But for our purposes, these trucks that are bringing hydrogen out, could we travel with them and put all our shit in their trucks, and they bring stuff that we want brought back?
Yeah, you could do that. I mean, so I would imagine they could do.
I mean, I'll pay some money.
They could
if
do like
that's the
double
problem.
trailers. I mean, that isn't a problem. What did you want to bring back?
All of our gold and shit.
Well, yes, yeah, the gold and silver bullion.
Yeah, the 6 million credits worth of shit that was in that
Yes.
first.
Yes.
I'm trying to get that on our ship, even if it costs me a nominal fee.
Yeah, they don't have any problem with that. They'll send the tanks down the rail line. They'll send the trucks hauling the hydrogen fuel to Gormont, where they can hook that up, and then they will haul out your gold and silver.
All right, I will accompany them while that takes place.
Okay.
Do
if
they
that's
know about
okay.
the weird religion with the door and the thing? And we should probably warn them.
All right, well, I mean, I figured if I go with them and mediate and advocate or whatever, I mean, we're in theory our boys in Gormont are at least better armed now, and so I mean, if shit goes sideways, I think we'll win. And then I can make sure that our shit that we're wanting to gets loaded up and nobody goes through our stuff.
So
And
yeah, that'll take about 4 days.
Did we ask about the helicopter?
well, no, I'm handling we don't need that now.
Yeah.
We don't need this is I think this is going to be a more low key thing. So it won't. Us trying to get a ship out to a location of an old Sindal thing might set off a whole bunch of red flags to make people wonder what the fuck we're doing. If we're already dealing with fucking underground, fucking racists or whatever, then let's I'm cool with riding with them. I mean, I'm not going to take showers with them or nothing, but I mean. I'll ride and get our shit and get it delivered here at the downport where it could get loaded up. I'll just pretend like I'm a purser when I get into the downport.
So Ting is going. Is anybody else going with Ting on this 4 days?
I am.
Okay, so Ting and Gregor are heading down the rail line back to Gormont with the hydrogen and bringing back the silver and bullion. That'll take, like I said, round trip. That'll be about 4 days. So Keith and Beth, while they're gone, you have some time to do a little bit of detective work around the starport.
Yeah. So let's start with the obviously open information about what ships are docked and have been docked.
So there are a number of free access terminals. Go ahead and make a electronic computers plus intellect check.
Okay.
Okay. So you narrow the search down to only vessels that are subsidized merchants. And the thing to know about subsidized merchants is that they are only jump one capable. And let me, where is my... Interesting. I thought... All right, never mind. So with jump one merchants, the there is they have the captains of jump one of a subsidized merchant have the difficulty in that they have to stay obviously within 1 parsec, and so you guys are on Paul, and let me guess, Paul's not on here. It is not. You know, I could have swore I had a map for this. Anyways, they can't make these big jumps, so they are stuck, you know, on these smaller chains. And, but that does not prevent them from making quite a bit of money. So, the subsidized merchant, their cargo hold is almost mind-bogglingly large. If their cargo doors, and the front kind of opens up in a clamshell, their cargo doors are so big, and the cargo bay on a subsidized merchant is so large that if the doors were just a little bit wider, you could dock a free trader in their cargo hold. That's how big they are. And so these you know, one jump ships move up and down these chains and basically trade back and forth with a lot of these systems. A lot of times these guys will do that for a lot of the backwater chains, and you know, picking up cargo at one stop that might have a Class A starport and delivering it to some locations that might only have even like a Class E starport. So these are they can earn a small crew a fairly good living, just staying on a chain. And there is a list of about 150 of these things that have come into port.
Oh man, that's kind of a lot.
All right.
And when
How
you
about
narrow
recently?
that down to just the past, you know, say the past 3 months, that list narrows it down quite a bit, but there's still like 30 of them.
So then dock workers next, right?
Yeah, let's talk to the dock workers, see if there's any information about some of these landing on the surface.
Okay, so both of you can make a streetwise plus intellect check. For every 100 credits that you decide that you want to grease somebody's palms with, you can add a +1 to that.
Okay, I'm gonna need to spend
How
a
about
lot of credits.
600 credits? I'll reimburse you, Captain. How about 600 credits?
I can afford that. Don't worry about me.
I got 13.
Oh, okay. Wow. Look at
Okay.
you.
So the two of you are asking around. You get a number of guys that take off their, you know, they're wearing the ear protection headphone or headsets. They'll take them off listening. No, I don't know anything about that. Finally, after about the fourth or fifth guy you ask, he says, no, I one of those things looks just like the other one. Nothing's really memorable. But another guy, another dock worker, perks up and he says, wait, no, there was one that was memorable. He's like, yeah, those guys, you remember, those guys that were a bunch of dicks. He's like, these assholes come down, act like they own the place, want to get all kinds of uppity, wanting to make sure that things are a certain way, and like their subsidized merchant is just, the cream of the crop. It was a piece of junk just like the rest of them. And he says, not to mention the fact we had to work overtime that day because, unlike every other subsidized merchant, this one took on an unusually large amount of fuel. Like, way more than you would need for a jump one or a few weeks worth of operation. And he's like, these, I don't know where they were sticking all that fuel, but yeah, these guys were jerks. And he's like, what was their name? And a third guy pipes up and he's like, Cockseeker? Another guy goes, Cum Catcher. And the other guy goes, the Morning Lord? He's like, no, Dawn Searcher. Their name was the Dawn Searcher.
Is that on our list?
It is on the list.
Okay. There we go.
She is registered to an independent merchant ship out as a independent merchant ship out of Tanith, which would suggest that she has crossed a 2-parsec gap to make it over to the Drinax chain, which means that she's been modified. According to the Downport database, it shows that she passed through Paul a few times in the past couple of years, usually at intervals of several months apart. And she's listed as being an armed ship, and her current captain is named Almex Vinderson. But apart from the fact that he's listed as a qualified ship's master, there's really no additional information on this Captain Vinderson.
Oh, he's a scum pirate, just like us.
He's a Swede. He's from the Sword Worlds. As soon as I read that name, I was like, he's a Sword Worlder.
All right. Should we talk to
our friend? Or
why don't you ask if he's been here in the last month? Oh, they were here. When were they here? Within the last month?
It says that it has been here a few times over the past couple of years with an interval of several months. You don't show that they came to the Downport within the last 3 months.
Interesting.
But
yeah,
but this guy, this dock worker, worked on their ship. Now, so Keith and Beth, you can both make an admin plus intellect or education check.
Okay. I have nothing in that. Wow. Oh dear. Come on, stop spinning. Okay. If I'm a jack of all trades and I don't have anything in it, what is that again?
So for each one in jack of all so if you don't have the skill, you're at -3. But for each one in jack of all trades, it removes one of those -1s.
Oh, okay.
Up to a total of 3.
So then I would get like 10. I'm good. Okay.
I got 9.
Okay, so you both made it. So you both have spent enough time around starports that you know that a lot of times a ship will dock and it may have some kind of issue. So a normal procedure is, of course, every time you dock there is some kind of inspection. Usually, in most cases, that can take place in about 15-20 minutes because these guys have a lot of work to do and only so many hours in the day. So what is supposed to take place is, they want to make sure that the ship is space-worthy, that it's not going to blow up on takeoff, etc. So if there is a problem that is found, that means that this ship is going to be sitting there taking up a valuable docking berth. And more often than not, some money changes hands and the paperwork just goes away so that they can get the damn thing off of their dock and put a ship that'll make more money into that berth.
Interesting. So we should ask when was the last time they saw this ship.
So they'll tell you, the guy will tell you straight up that they saw that ship about 2 weeks ago. He's like, maybe 2.5 weeks ago.
Okay, so who would inspect this ship?
He points you to upstairs, in an inspector, Inspector Smith.
Inspector Smith. So what about who would be in charge of making sure that a ship is what if a ship was given clearance to land somewhere other than
Who could
the
authorize
dock?
that?
Who could authorize that?
He says that's man, that can't be easy to get. He says he's like, I'm gonna guess you probably haven't been on Paul for very long. He says, but everything it says in the planetary database about Paul being galvanized is correct. So Paul isn't run by one planetary government. They all get together and they talk shit over at the Paul Downport, and there is like a little side pavilion that they have set up where and you guys ran into this when you came in. I mean, your radios blared. All of these different city states offer everybody some kind of deal, and they want to get you in and try to hook you up and suck you into one of their deals. Usually it's a lucrative trade contract that it's okay, but they make it sound like it's fantastic.
So we need to talk to whoever's in charge of Parflex Junction.
So essentially, yeah, I mean, Parflex Junction would have been the closest location. So essentially, it would have to be one of those city-states, but it's not just Parflex Junction. They would have to have talked and made a deal with all of these little black dots all along the way, because each of those stops is a town, and all of those little city-states all have weapons to shoot down ships. And the reason why they are so apt to shoot down ships is because they don't want you landing on the surface. They want you landing at the downport so they can all talk you into getting into some lucrative trade deal.
Right.
And so whatever deal was made with multiple people, and the guy tells you, it's like, I can't even imagine what that would have taken. I mean, somebody had to have some kind of political pull. And and not only that, but I mean, it doesn't show up in our records that the ship was even here. So clearly there was some kind of political pull.
Yeah, absolutely.
They've been helpful.
Yeah, let's give them a how much?
10,000 credits.
100 credits.
Okay,
We'll give
yeah.
them 100 credits.
It's like, hell, thanks.
We can carouse in Parflex Junction and try and figure out who's in charge of things. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I'm not sure what to do there.
So you're gonna catch a train out to Parflex Junction and see what you can learn out there?
Yeah, I think so. If they have to bribe or, convince.
We don't even have to go all the way that far. We just go to the nearest town.
That's
Yeah,
true.
that's true. Where's the nearest town?
Yeah,
Well,
so
Parflex Junction's the railroad. Maybe they have enough power to convince the other ones to
Yeah,
go
maybe.
along.
I don't know.
So if you're going to this first town, you're just going to try and carouse? Are you going to try and hobnob? Are you could use admin to try and schmooze your way to the top?
I would start with trying to schmooze my way to the top, actually, yeah.
Okay, so you guys can make an admin plus intellect check.
Cool. $11.
So, yeah, you you find out who would have been able to authorize that particular type of thing. But nobody in that department, basically, you're not going to get a meeting with the guy. It's like basically the I don't know, mayor or governor or whatever you want to call the city state. You're not going to get a meeting with him, but nobody through your admin checks, you're not seeing where anything like that was authorized.
Interesting. So we are going to have to.
More investigating, but our friends are probably going to be coming back pretty soon.
Yeah.
So we should be where we left them, so they aren't like wondering where we.
Right.
Yes. Well, at least here you would still you would have service. So
You can
Stay
send
on
them a
the-
message.
so Ting and Gregor, the 4 days is up, and you guys are kind of weary and worn out, pulling into Paul Downport, and of course, this gold and silver needs to be offloaded from the train and loaded onto your ship, onto the Osiris, but there are customs questions of, do you? I mean, 6 million credits worth of gold and silver bullion is not going to pass scrutiny. There's questions.
Well, when in doubt, try to bribe a motherfucker to not ask questions and just let my shit go through.
That's usually the way. Yeah, go ahead and make a persuasion plus intellect check.
Look, see what my persuasion is. All right. Plus intellect, you said?
Yes.
All right.
Or you
we
can
go.
use charm.
All right.
Okay.
11?
So how much money are you giving him?
$5 grand.
Okay. You kind of palm him 5K and or hand him an envelope with 5,000 credit plaques in it. And
Yeah, and I'll be like, this is just dirt and sand samples that some archaeologist people got. It's nothing to really pay that much attention to, and I'll slide the 5 grand to the guy. Wouldn't you say?
he looks at his clipboard, his digital clipboard, and he goes, "I don't see that you brought anything in at all. Have a pleasant trip." And he's like, "How would you like that nothing delivered? How soon?"
Like ASAP. I've got another 5 grand for you if it's delivered with no questions asked and put into my cargo hold.
He kind of snaps his fingers, and 2 other guys come over, and he slips each of them 1,000, and tells them, he kind of whispers to them, "Keep this on the down low. Move that bullion and get it aboard the Osiris in docking bay 46, and no questions asked. And if anybody has any questions, you tell them to call me." And they're like, "Okay," and they get to loading it up.
Yeah, well, I will stay with the gold, and as soon as it's in the cargo hold and secure, I'll return to this guy and give him his other 5 grand. I've already deducted 10 from my,
Okay.
I've got almost 1 million credits. It's not really, that much money to me, but it's worth it to get the shit and get it aboard
Right.
and locked down. And and in the moment I've done that, I'm going to try to calm the captain and inform her that I've got the shit. As far as I'm concerned, I don't know what else we have to do here.
Good job.
Yeah.
I'm staying on the ship.
Okay.
I'm doing diagnostics on the power supply.
So these guys are using cargo lifters, and it doesn't take very long to get that that gold and silver loaded up into the Osiris, and yeah. So Beth and Keith, you were heading back to make sure that these guys aren't missing you.
I guess, like, yeah, it seems
So yeah,
maybe we shouldn't have done that.
yeah. So yeah, you guys get back to the Osiris, and they have loaded up 6 million credits worth of gold and silver in the Osiris's cargo hold.
Great.
I assume you're going to share information, and I mean, and Ting and Gregor, in the 4 days that you were there, they had already started the manufacturing process for the guns. Of course, that's going to take a couple of weeks, but for the most part, the remnants were still in the process of burying their dead and kind of healing up from their encounter with the feral Aslan. But they seemed like they're going to be doing fairly well.
I'll be sure and inform them that, when you kind of get armed up and, you get yourself organized, you go over there to that Aslan camp and you fucking take their power core that's all in the middle of that shit. It's a little banged up, but you should be able to repair that and double your power output and ability to animate and light up things around the city. Probably greatly improved by
That's actually a
going
really
and
good
doing
idea.
that. I'm good for them about once or twice a day.
So Beth and Keith, you guys kind of share information. You basically you kind of hit a dead end because who the high ups are that would have authorized this, at least for the nearest city state, but you weren't able to find anything on the books. So clearly everything that was going on as far as the Dawn Searcher being able to land on the surface of Paul was all kept on the down low. It was all very hush-hush.
Are you wanting to chase down this Dawn Searcher captain, or was this just, something to pass your time while I rode trains?
I'm not totally sure.
Well, if this is something you want to track down before we leave here, there's another round of investigation shit. We could probably try to find somebody that knows. Maybe they switched crew members out here, or anyone that was served on that ship would probably have insight.
There's a chance, but it also seems like being able to bribe your way through this planet so easily makes it pretty easy to do whatever you want without anybody having to.
Yeah.
So this is pretty common with most starports, but in your experience, and this is over the past 3 years, being pirates, you find that it seems that this kind of behavior of being able to bribe your way through the system is far more prevalent on planets with higher law levels.
I believe that. We've got a ship to do. Can we have a star map of our general area, please?
I can probably make that happen.
I think we're good to go.
Yeah, probably.
And I thought I had one.
Yeah. Thought you did too.
I have the pulse.
You did 3 weeks ago.
Right. Right. That is my question. All on here. Where the fuck is Paul? Let's find out.
It's not that far from Drinax.
Yeah, isn't it like 2 jumps from Drinax? Or maybe just 1.
Let's take a look. Oh. Yes.
Yeah, Paul, you go
Yeah.
Drinax, Horn, Hiffer, Paul. Paal, right?
Yep, that's it. So, Paul, maybe it is.
But if that bitch was going with a J2,
No.
she's from Tech World. I bet we could find more about this Dawn whatever if we went to Tech World. Would be my this is just a guess. If they geared up for more than if they took a J1 vehicle or ship and obviously we're J2, Tech World is that's
Placed. That's
well,
where it was done.
that would be my guess. I mean, the only other thing, they were anti-Aslan though, so it could go the other way to what is that, Tokyo or whatever.
Well, they were from
Kayak,
Tanith. They were from Tanith, right?
That's what they
Yes.
said.
Yes.
Yeah, so they would have to jump to 2 spaces to get to Tech World anyway. So
Yeah,
they probably were modified there in Tanith.
probably. Yeah.
All
I mean,
right.
or they didn't have to modify too much. You just put a bladder in your cargo hold, and
Right,
you jump
exactly.
into space and you sit. So I mean, just it's like a poor man's J2.
Yeah.
Well, if he's got that much cargo space, he could.
And
He's
we're wanting to
willing to give-
avoid
Well,
Drinax
subsidized
anyway.
merchants have a ton of cargo space. They're basically all cargo space for the most part.
So if he wanted to give up cargo space, he could jump as many times as he wanted almost.
Yeah.
It just take more time.
I suspect we're going to encounter this Dawn Searcher at some point anyway.
Yeah, but
Not too
Thief.
worried about it.
Yeah, I mean, if we're going to Thief, then Tech World's not really in that direction. But it gets us further away from Drinax. In theory, we could go Tech World and then end up kind of. We might have to go to the Nurin or whatever, learning whatever in Nurin, whatever that E, and then hit over to Arsid. We can sneak around that way through maybe Exoset.
I can't see that.
Borite.
You got a map
Necron.
up?
Yeah,
You
I'm
gotta-
working on it. Hold on.
Oh, I've got it. I just put up the traveler map from the website, so maybe I was cheating.
No,
But,
that's fine. That's basically what
yeah.
I did.
Yeah, but I mean, if we're coming from Paul, we could J2 to Tech World, and then INURIN, whatever. You're in a quick one there, or I mean, we could do a poor man's J3 as is, and shoot right over to just straight like north of Tech World almost. If we wanted to, we could also.
So here is where Paul is. Specifically, right there.
Yeah.
So yeah, they were up here. They are registered out of Tanith, which means that they either heading over through the borderlands or even over to Torpal, Clark, and Blue. Either way, they would have had to have made a jump too. So you realize you would know that their ship is capable of jump 2. Well, or 2 jump 1s. That's more likely.
But
Oh, go ahead.
ultimately, we're trying to go back to Thieves, right? I mean, that's where we're supposed to
thought
meet
we're
this
going
Prince
back to-
guy.
Is it?
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
where
we're
the
supposed
prince
to go to
is.
Thebes to meet the prince.
Right.
can
So
feel-
if we're doing that, I mean the way to go is up more like through Murdoch or Borite, Torpol, Clark, that kind of way. But I mean, again, that's kind of heading us towards Drinax, which is a real hot zone from us. To get. Let me. Where's the fuck is a pencil? Yeah, like
The
if
draw is the third one down.
yeah, if we kind of head generally that direction, that's really hot to Drinax, but I mean, that's the direction to start headed to Thieves is up that way, and then maybe, a little bit more towards Drinax.
Well,
You'd want to go through Torpol.
You could jump to Porn, and then because you have a jump to ship, you could then jump to Clark. Although
Porn is where that fucking imp cruiser and all that shit was, wasn't it?
I don't
Well,
remember.
yeah, you do know that there is an Imperial fleet moving through here, and nobody really knows what their demeanor is or why, but they're not small.
Yeah, see, with that idea, I kind of like that. I like the idea of going to Tech World and just kind of taking a loop around,
Yeah, I
could
don't
go-
mind that at all.
Tech World X Corden. They're all 2 jumps.
Yeah, we could go to Corden for a minute and we have a pretty safe place there.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah,
you've got your little castle there.
Yeah.
and then I mean, and still in that loop, I mean, all the way to that Ilgan, Lilgan, and then Boulder, Palindrome, Thief.
Yeah.
That's a lot of jumping.
It is a lot of jumping. It's going to take a little while.
So you were going to go from Paul to Tech World, Tech World to XE.
Tech World, where that disease came from.
1, 2.
Right, and then from XE to Corden.
Hold on.
Then we need the next map.
And then from Corden,
Yeah, I'm looking.
Have we been to
1,
Wilderman?
2,
I don't think
3.
Yeah, Wilderman. But I mean, God, that's getting right up close to fucking Imperium
4,
space.
so.
5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 weeks worth of jump.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you're
I mean,
you're probably looking at about 22 weeks total time.
But the prince isn't even there, or King Prince. He's not even at Thebe yet. He hasn't had time to make.
Because he left Drinax on a jump 2. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, he'd have been there in like 8 weeks if he was really hustling.
Yeah. But I mean, he's going covertly too. So
right.
I don't know whether he's there or not. I guess it doesn't change our thing. I don't know. Isn't there a secret fueling station or something between Exocet and Palindrome?
There's a secret fueling station between Noricum and Theve. One of those blank hexes has a refueling depot that you know about.
All right, well then, so no, we don't know of a way that we can jump between Exocet and Palindrome directly. We can do a J2 and still have enough fuel to do a J1, right?
With your bladder, yes.
Right. So I mean, we could make the jump from Exocet to Boulder if we wanted to, or we could do it. We could go from Cauldron to Wilderman, and then out to like Illigan.
Well, I mean, you could go Exocet to Boulder, 1, 2, 3,
right.
and then go from Boulder to Palindrome, and then it's just a 1-week jump over to Thief.
I like that. Palindrome is a friend.
Yep.
Last we knew.
Yeah.
We did really good shit for them there, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's my recollection.
Yeah. Then that's
We did.
Yeah, we
Well, I don't think Gregor was with us yet.
Oh.
Yeah.
We earned favor.
Yeah, I think this was just before Gregor joined us, but they helped the leader of Palindrome, who is she's an ex-pirate. Wow, ex-pirate? A pirate. But she was badly injured in a piracy attack by a bioweapon, and so she has to make frequent trips to Thief for biogenetic and cybernetic augmentations, or die. And these
She's
guys
gonna be a cyborg.
She
Yeah,
is
cyborg.
she is more machine than woman, yes.
But we gave her a lot of good science and things to try to patch
Yeah, these guys
herself up.
tracked down the bioweapon that
Yeah.
that injured her, and it is her hope that her scientists will be able to come up with an antidote or cure, and in that way, kind of.
But yeah, don't we have a big payday coming on Palindrome from kidnapped people that we've kind of sold on the ransom off?
You probably do have, yeah. I don't know if it's going to necessarily be a big payday, but yeah, there were some nobles that you ransomed off that you can pick up the cash for on Palindrome. She was going to she was kind of the middleman on that.
Mhm.
That was part of your payoff.
Good
Yeah.
memory. I would have forgot.
It's about money and selling people. I'm not out of character to remember that.
Yeah.
Those are some of the look. We got these service ribbons that I had printed up. I know no one else wears them, but I thought it was great.
So,
You see this one? That's for making canoes out of Aslan.
right, yes, right. Beth, go ahead and make a piloting plus dex check. I assume you guys are ready to leave, right?
I think so.
So, and actually, before you leave, in the amount of time that you've been here, the ship has accrued 500 credits in docking fees.
Okay, I will subtract that.
What a spade. These guys are pirates. They charge so much. We ought to do something about that.
I'm gonna lie on our registry from when I say where we're going. If as we always try to plot a destination or whatever, and I'm gonna say that we're going to porn.
Okay.
All right.
So you're plotting. You are filing a flight plan for porn, because
It doesn't even have to be a
no.
good one. I'm not going to waste the astrogation dude's time. I will fucking try to jack that trade and turn in some bullshit saying this, because we're not really plugging it in the computer anyway. So
everybody who plots a destination for porn is disappointed when they get there. It is not the whore island of the Trojan Reach.
No, it's not. But it's got a Class A starport.
It does have a Class A starport somehow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, anybody trying to trace us or something, I'm leaving them a trail to take us that direction.
Right.
If you want me to make an astrogation check, I will.
Yeah. Well, whoever. Yeah. So.
I got 10 on my piloting.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
mine won't be for where we're jumping. Mine would be like a bullshit. This is where we're jumping. So
you
but
don't
we're
need
not.
you don't need to make an astrogation check. You just
Oh.
file a flight plan for porn. But
Good.
so whoever's on sensors, you register a ship has just come out of jump.
It is Stream Searcher.
Well, yeah. What ship is it? Is it? Does it have a transponder on?
It does. Who wants to make a electronics sensors plus intellect check?
That's generally what I do.
Different.
And I'm gonna
It's
add
the damn
2
Imperial.
because
I bet you it's a scout ship for the Imperial Admiral.
I don't know, but I got a 14. So
Okay, so you pick up on the sensors. It is a free trader. It is at the. They did not jump close. It's going to take them probably about a day and a half to reach. To actually reach Paul. They have adjusted their course, are heading for Paul, and it is pinging as the Cashcow.
Ooh.
there's
The
no
cash
reason
cow.
why that should. There's no reason why that ship should go unmolested. I mean, we could. I mean, no, that's just too much. We should. I'm gonna point it out. Be like, look, they're asking for it with a name like that, Captain.
Oh my gosh, it is really hard to do this.
How much you want to bet they don't have anything?
They might not, but it's in their best interest to make us happy that we stopped them.
How would
last
you
week
go about it? What do you guys want to do?
I would go hit them with our fucking ion cannon and just try to
Oh,
sneak
boy.
up on, yeah, and kill their systems and yeah, bully our way around that ship, kill everybody on it.
We don't know who's on it, but okay. All right.
Well, no, I mean,
Let's
we
do
could
some
we could
pirate
sell
stuff.
this ship, and we've got people. I mean, so I mean, it's
bored.
So should we stealth our way over there, or what? What do you
that's
think?
what
Should
I'm
we try to-
thinking.
Okay.
So you
Why
guys are in
stealth?
the Osiris. It is not. I don't think.
We don't have to
It
have a
does-
transponder
The Osiris
on.
does have stealth jump. But it does not have the holographic hull.
That's right.
Right. If they see us, they see us. But as soon as, let's see if they talk to us. If they find us, they might roll bad on their sensor checks, and they might not know about us until we hit them with our ion cannon.
I want to think about.
They ain't gonna run away. They can't run away from us anyway.
Not
What?
really.
What ships do we have that are hot, and what ships do we have that are not? Because if all of our ships are hot, that kind of causes a problem.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
Right.
Is
The
there sort of like
Osiris
one
isn't-
non?
yeah. The Anubis, we have it with us. Right?
Hmm?
We've been. Don't we have both?
I don't know.
I thought we were carrying both.
Yeah,
I-
the
I
Anubis.
couldn't
I
recall.
would. I mean, if you're making these kinds of jumps, I would assume that the Anubis is probably not attached because that would lower your jump
Right,
to
we're-
jump
we're-
one.
We're fleet
Okay.
jumping. So yeah, let's get on the Anubis. But if we go to the Anubis, it doesn't have the ion cannon, and
So
that
we
is-
could we have someone operate the ion cannon from this ship, and then cruise up in the Anubis to jump onto their ship and take all the stuff, or
Yeah.
whatever.
we can start pirating them with the Anubis, and then when they send out the distress call, answer the call with the Osiris to come
Right.
help them out. Yeah,
Right.
and then hit them with the ion cannon.
Okay, that sounds good.
So, and I'm just doing some
That sounds like
checks
fun.
here. So they have not picked up the Anubis.
Mm.
So yeah, I mean, our general plan is that we're gonna take off in the Anubis and start acting like we're pirating, and then when they yell out for help, the crew on the Osiris is going to answer the call, and come to help this poor cash cow ship and defend its honor. And then it's going to hit the cash cow ship with the ion cannon, and we're going to take it.
Okay.
So yeah, so I mean, if we're using my plan, the Anubis is wanting to get on the other side of the cash cow and then start firing at it, preferably not actually hitting it.
Right.
Right.
Yeah,
let's
with sounding mean on comms, saying "power down" or "be destroyed." Grr. Right. And we will deem this maneuver the bait and switch. It's very
Awesome.
very original name.
So the Harrier opens fire with warning shots, and the Harrier, of course, is at long range from you. The Cash Cow is at very long range, and I need to. Oops, that's not what I wanted. Turn order. That's what I wanted.
I guess the transponder on the Osiris will be on.
Okay.
Because it is the rescue ship, right? I mean, it looks like a pirate if it's off, right?
Well, that would be a safe assumption, yes.
Right, so we want it to look like a hero, and get way the fuck out here in deep space to where we can have our play around. So, fleet tactics, space chess.
Yes. Come on. Everybody roll initiative.
Initiative.
Yes. 2D plus either your dex or your intellect.
Oh,
9.
And if you've taken the time to get your eyes augmented, they give a +1 on initiative if you got the right set.
cool.
Yeah.
I think I'll do that Friday night.
Right.
It's new eyeballs.
Yeah.
Okay, so Beth, you saw the Anubis fire their particle beam, and it was a threatening miss over the bow. They were dead on, and you can hear over the open comms that they are ordering the Cash Cow to shut down their engines. The Cash Cow. The Cash Cow does two things. They immediately start to broadcast a signal GK, and then they floor it with all thrust one of their free traders maneuver drive, trying to make a run for it.
That's so sad.
So
Yeah.
so Beth, what are you doing? You are in the pilot seat.
I'm going to I guess hail them.
Are you going to close with Cash Cow or?
Yeah, I want to tell them I'm responding to their help transmission. I'll
Okay.
be there to assist shortly.
Okay. So with your thrust 5, if you're closing with their position, how much of your thrust points are you going to use?
I only need like 2 to beat 1, so.
Yeah, two would.
Two.
They are at very long. Hold on, let me look at my ship speed band. Where are my ships? There we go. So they're at very long. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It would, if you wanted to make it to close range, you could do that and be in close range next round, or short range next round with 3.
Okay.
We need medium to hit them with our ion cannon.
Okay. So I might as well just use 3. It's not like they're going to outmaneuver us. It's okay.
Right. Even if it takes 2 rounds to line it up, you know.
Yeah.
What? Yeah.
Okay.
Big deal.
So Beth has answered their distress call. Anubis.
Hopefully Anubis will jam them.
Yeah, Anubis is jamming their communications.
That's pirating 101.
True.
Yes. The downside of jamming, though, is that it tells everybody in the vicinity where you are. Nobody can talk to each other, but it doesn't take a genius. You don't have to have a degree in mathematics to figure out where the jamming's coming from. So
yeah, but it's far away from everybody, correct?
Yeah, I mean, at this point, you know, they are beyond. Let's see, what is this? So Paul would be, you know, south of this, down to the bottom, at very distant. So they're beyond distant range.
Yeah. We'll do our thing and be gone before anybody can say shit.
So
It'll
yeah,
be great.
That is what Anubis does, is that they start to jam the Cashcow. Cashcow is going to be there on this turn. Yeah, Anubis is going to be there. In Cashcow,
Help me, Mama.
right?
Help me.
Yes, Cashcow is going to open fire on the Anubis with a pulse laser double turret.
Ooh,
Oh,
boys.
that's not good at all.
This is an ace crew we're dealing with here, guys. We need to be careful.
So,
Yeah.
Cashcow goes to open fire on Anubis, and you can tell on the sensors, you see the turret start to turn, and it gets stuck. The turret jams in place.
Poor boys.
Gregor,
Help me, Mama.
what would you like to do?
I would like to get in my battle dress.
Okay, so you're suiting up.
I'm suiting up. I'm gonna go take God some trouble.
Keith, what are you doing?
Let's see. So we're on the Osiris or
Yes.
the Anubis?
You're on the Osiris.
On the Osiris. Okay.
Who's our turret guy?
Yeah, I'll man the ion cannon.
Okay.
I mean, I don't have
all
gunner
right.
at anything, so.
So yeah, you basically thumb a switch, and your holographic control switches over to gun turret mode. Did you want to take a shot?
Are we close enough?
Yeah.
All right.
Oh wait, you have to. Let's see. Did ion cannons require you to be within close range?
Medium.
I think it's medium.
Medium. So no, not yet. They're
Okay.
still at long range. Next round, they will be in short range.
Okay. I
I
will.
could,
I'll
I
hold
could
my
pee on them.
hold my attack.
What you could do is you could make an electronic sensors plus intellect check to put a target lock on them.
Yeah, that's a good choice. I think I will do that. Okay. And I'll get a 6.
Okay. They are
You
not.
get +2.
Oh, that's right.
Plus,
You get.
yeah.
So that is an 8. That is just
Oh.
enough to target lock them.
It's due to cool sensors on the ship.
I forgot about the sensors on the ship. Yeah.
Yeah.
They are target locked.
It's the party advocate. I try to squeeze it for everything we can get.
Yes. Ting, what are you doing?
Well, he's locking in and we're headed on. I am going to go ahead and take this moment to announce on really loud, broadcast comms that we,
Comms are
There-
jammed.
well,
You could make an electronics comms check to try and get through the jamming if you wanted to.
I'm not trying to talk to that ship. I'm trying to talk to the rest of the subsector or whoever fucking might be listening or watching
Jammed.
this pirate activity.
Jamming doesn't know friend or foe. Jamming jams everybody.
All right, well, hell, I will try.
Okay, so go ahead and make an electronics
I will
comms
try to,
plus intellect check. That's pretty good. Hold on, let me take a look here. So I need skill.
All you need is a directional signal back to where we came from.
Oh, I'm just making a broadcast to sell the story of what we're doing,
That's what I
Pirate-
figured.
pirate ship, power down or leave, or face our wrath. And then my next round would be like, oh no, how many of them are you? Oh my God, run away. And we will take all our shit and run away. And
Run
you know,
away!
yeah,
Run
yeah,
away!
yeah, yeah.
Bring the holy hand grenade of
and then-
Antioch!
And then this, in theory, then this whole section of space kind of goes dark.
So with a 10 plus, you are able to get a communication signal through. It is spotty, but you're able to get through.
All right. Well, attention pirate vehicle. This is the Osiris. This is Ting Hansen, Star Dragon, blah, 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 blah. Pirate activity is no longer accepted in this sector, and you're, cease and desist or face our wrath.
Okay. So basically, you broadcast bullshit.
Yes, it smells wonderful. Everybody loves it. Flies.
Mosquitoes.
Right. And hopefully that this, my goal is that this ship thinks that we're a friend and doesn't fire at us as this goes around, and in theory the Anubis would act like it's running away to sell it.
So Beth, the Cashcow and the Anubis are both within short range now. You're coming up on them. So short range, that is going to be putting you within, wow, you're within 1,250 kilometers. So actually on your board, the Osiris's computers are basically giving you a proximity alert.
Okay.
Yeah, that's good shit. No.
Be kind of hard.
Cash cow, you are flying too close. We will be forced to defend ourselves if you continue this trajectory. You shall not try to ram us. Do not try to ram us.
I don't know if I can do a communications check to get through the jamming, but that would be really funny to say. If I turn and would we still be able to fire the ion cannon? It's not like something where you have to be facing the thing, right?
No, it's a
I'd
turret.
Yeah. Okay. I don't mind turning to sell the thing. That'd be fine.
We could slow down maybe.
Yeah. Do you want to try?
Oh yeah.
Do you want
I
to
don't
take a
wanna-
shot, or do you want to try and maneuver to give Keith a better shot?
I'll try and maneuver to give Keith a better shot because I'm not in charge of taking shots. So.
Okay, go ahead and make a piloting plus dex check.
Oh right, lost of that.
25.
A lot. 14.
Oh, so that's another +1 to Keith. So he's got a +1 for target lock. He's got a +1 for maneuvering. So Anubis is going for it, and they are attempting to use the breaching tube.
I can't be mad at them for that. Yeah.
So they are going to try and Capri Sun. They succeeded. They have attached, and the breaching tube is slammed into the side of Cashcow, and they are now attached. Cashcow is panicking because of range. That's another +1. Ooh, and they stitch Anubis to the tune of 2d +1 damage.
Anubis has some armor.
Yeah, five points. I'm imagining. Let's see, her armor.
I think it's 8, but don't quote me on that.
Her class 4. So Anubis takes 1 point of damage. Oh no! And just keeps going. Whoever is aboard, actually, they were able to get the turret to operate, and they stitch the side or the nose of Anubis as it is in the process of fusion torching through their hull to get in.
I thought we were going to disable this thing.
Gregory,
Yeah, they didn't really follow the game plan, but they jammed. So
Gregor,
it's
you
okay.
are
We're about
suited
we're gonna
up.
win.
Where are you heading? What
Which
are you
dock?
doing?
Which dock should I go to, Captain? Which side? Port or starboard?
Wait, I thought you were on the ship with the cube. I'm confused.
No, he's on
we're all on
he's
the
on
Osiris.
Osiris with you. He was suiting up into his battle dress.
Fuck, I
He's
don't
getting
know.
ready for the thing.
That
Yeah.
one, I say, whatever one that's gonna use that.
Okay, that one
I'm
over
sorry.
there. All right, Keith, what would you like to do?
So I have a question. Am I going to damage the Anubis if I shoot an ion cannon at the cash cow?
Only if you miss really bad.
Only if I miss. Okay, well I'm okay with that.
You won't even
not
damage it.
miss.
All this does is fuck up the power systems. You might have to rebuild the power plant.
Yeah, that's true. Okay. And I got a 11.
That is a hit. So now I have to look at weapons and screens. This is only like the second time we've ever used the ion. Here we go, ion cannon. Roll 2d times 10.
2D. Okay. 40.
Holy shit. So it says And you got an 11 on that roll?
I did.
Wait. So that is 3.
We gotta get another 6 million credits.
It's 2.
It's a cash cow's poor.
Cash cow's poor, I imagine.
And
So it's deducted from the target's power. And you rolled 40 for damage. Okay, so what is... I don't know that it even has worth a shit for armor. But let's see. 2. So, 38 points. And what is its power? Its power is 75.
So what's left it can operate?
Right. So that means it has 40 power points left. Its maneuver drive requires 20 for all one thrust. It has no fuel for a jump because it hasn't refueled yet. And its weapons... Yeah, it is still up. You see blue electrical arcs go all around Cashcow, and some of the lights flicker, but it's still operational. Well, Ting, what are you doing?
You know, that pesky little turret is really going to piss me off, but I am going to go ahead and do a focused beam communication with the cash cow.
Okay.
And I am going to tell them to power down and surrender, or none of them will survive. Stop fighting, stop doing everything, or all of you will be dead. You know, you have no win in this.
Okay. They do. They power down and will allow you guys to dock. And so we will pick this up next week with you guys boarding Cashcow. And
Yay!
Yeah, going cow tipping.
Shotgun time.
Yeah.
going cow tipping in Cashcow.
Yeah.
that'll be fun. I'll see you guys next week.
All right.
Yeah, that was fun.
Bye.
Thank you.
I will see you guys next week. Have a good night, guys.
You too. Be safe.